Now, a shocking case of alleged fraud is currently unfolding in Port Harcourt, as a man who was once praised for promoting agricultural investments in the country is now facing charges of an alleged Ponzi scheme worth over 355 million naira. Now, I'm sure it would interest you to know that the CEO of Gladius Urban Farm, as well as members of his family, is allegedly being under investigation following deceiving investors with promises of a poultry farm profit that never even existed. According to a report by Kalabari TV, Gladius Urban Farm operated from an office in Port Harcourt City and claimed to offer investors high returns from a poultry farm venture. However, investigations have uncovered no physical evidence of any farm operations, prompting authorities to label the business a front for large-scale investment fraud. Now, I'm sure it would interest you to know that the fraudulent scheme is alleged to have been run by Prince Emeka in collaboration with his mother, Mrs. Love Ene, a former commissioner for housing and urban planning in Imo State, her daughter in Ene Chiodo Queen, and Mrs. Obiakpolum Perpetua Adaugo. While Prince Emeka is currently in custody and seeking bail, Kalabari TV confirms that both Mrs. Adaugo and Obiakpolum are currently on the run, evading arrest. Now, the DSS, the Department of State Services, is also investigating Mrs. Lovene for possible involvement in the fraud, as well as corruption during her time in public office. Authorities are probing whether her political influence played a role in enabling the Gladius Urban Farm operation. Now, for my own special investigation, I actually found out that the farm did exist, but it was only a disguise. Now, an anonymous source further reveals that Prince Emeka aggressively misled the public through deceptive radio jingles and pressured his staff with strict targets to lure unsuspecting individuals into investing in the fraudulent scheme. Additionally, Mrs. Obiakpolum Perpetua Adaugo, who was previously granted bail by the State Criminal Investigation Department (CID), failed to return for further questioning despite multiple requests. Her surety has also failed to produce her, prompting intensified efforts to locate and apprehend her. Investors affected by the scheme have expressed outrage and called for swift justice. Many say they were misled by false promises of profitability and now facing devastating financial losses. The fraud case, which has drawn national attention, is now seen as a reflection of a broader issue plaguing Nigeria's investment and regulatory environment. As proceedings continue and the DSS expand its investigation, the outcome of this case is expected to set a precedent in tackling financial crimes and political corruption. So now, further investigation, I did reach out to some of the alleged victims that were victims of this fraudulent scheme, and they sent me some receipts that I'll be reading out. For the purpose of confidentiality, we will not be mentioning anybody's name. So, Gladius Urban Farm Africa main account. On this day, 27,570 naira was transferred to this account. This is January 2025, 29th January 2025. Transaction 6,335,520 naira, 4,494,033 naira, and then we have 852,227 naira, and then we have 4,494,033 naira, and many more. I took a deep dive into further investigations and I actually got to see that there were some chats that Prince Emeka had sent to some of these alleged victims. Now, over here, you see that 10 beds cost 45,000 naira, 25 beds, 112,500 naira. This was actually why those alleged victims, were sending those large amounts of money. We have 50 beds, 225,000 naira, and then they would get 393,750 naira at the end of 3 months, which is 75% ROI. And now 100 birds, 450,000 naira, with a gain of 787,500 at the end of 3 months, with a 75% ROI. Now we take a look down, you will still see more charts. Fish 10 costs 16,100 naira, and then the return of this money is 23,350 naira, the ROI of 7,250. So you see how these people were allegedly deceiving these investors into investing money into something that was not necessarily true. We have some pictures of Mr. Prince Emeka. We have a few pictures of him and his mom, and a picture of organization, I think a group of people together, and there's actually a video of the farm. Now this story is actually becoming a national issue, and so many people are talking about it, so many blogs are talking about it, so many influencers are talking about it. Now this is a post from Niger Delta Insider, and this is a comment from Aqua on Facebook. He says, imagine bringing 10,000 birds to help with payments of debts. Thousands died, very few sold. Those sent to market for sales was hard to be sold, and you say it's not demonic activities. The thing is, the man opened a company with good intentions, but employed majority of demons as managers. Unfortunately, the company was turned into a cult, a witchcraft cult. He has a good heart, in as much as he is easily manipulated by diabolic practices happening there. There was 3 farms, 3 new farms, and 3 were old farms in operation. But he was working with heartless people as managers. Alright, so first of all, I'm just going to say that Mr. Aqua, this comment doesn't make any sense, because you can't tell me that there were 6 farms, 3 new farms, and 3 were old, and then it's some kind of witchcraft cult. That doesn't make any sense. This is an actual case, and people are being affected by this issue. So many people are putting money into this business, and you're telling me that it's a witchcraft cult. That's not a valid argument, and therefore it cannot stand. But however, that's my opinion, and that's your opinion. Mr. Aqua further says that he isn't a fraudster for more than a year, still defrauding 355 million naira. The man and the company was dedicated to a very dark power. He isn't a spiritual person. All of this won't be like, I don't really understand what you're saying. My dear, he isn't a bully like you thought. He's been manipulated by many of the staff there. Know it. This is a case of pure mismanagement. My elder sister told me everything. She was a junior staff. So first of all, we can't rely on the information that your elder sister from a junior staff gives us, because it's probably not a credible source, and you could be actually hired or paid to defend him in the comment section. So we can't really rely on this information. However, like I said earlier, this is an organization that has been known or has a reputation for handling agricultural investment. So how can you now say that he was being manipulated by his staff and it's a spiritual issue? I feel like you're drifting off to spiritual matters, and this is more of a realistic matter. Thank you. So the next comment from Niger Delta Post, Bob Chimene Samuel Clement says, I worked here. This man was a bully. I resigned last year. Okay, this one is actually very funny, but let's see where this goes. Akparawa Godi Wise, please sir, confirm this news, I beg. Yes, please confirm the news, because we can't work with sources that are not credible. Okay, you know, go past PH. Everybody is saying you know go past PH. Or Port Harcourt is the happening place. So what can we say? The rate of fraud now is high. Even in business centers, now people like this, they block way for genuine farmers like us. We that are looking for capital to fund our agricultural business. Anyways, as long as we are doing the right thing, good and sincere people will locate us, and we will see them. So this user probably has sentimental issues with the alleged fraudster, Mr. Prince Emeka, because you're saying here that I feel like it's a block we will be genuine farmers. So this comment is not about Prince Emeka, this comment is about himself. So that's the extent of it. So this person, Gibson Jr., sometimes we gotta include these radio houses as accomplices, or the way they promote investments without verifying it. Okay, so I'm a journalist, and I see so many real estate companies, different companies go to radio stations to place ads, and then they get to come and talk about it on air. So it's not in the place of the radio house to go and investigate whether or not these businesses are actually legit, but they will do their best with the information that they are given, and then they do their job. So I don't think that this comment is actually legit. So this is from Brian's post. Brown says, every day Port Harcourt in the news. Like I said earlier, Port Harcourt is a happening place. We have stories happening every single day. So yeah. This person, 7th Alpha, says, I used to hear this man talk on radio about this farming and investing stuff. Now wow, because these days we don't know what we're hearing anymore. But let's just hope that we don't become victims of fraudulent schemes, alleged fraudulent schemes. Okay, this person, Ambassador Ominye Prince. These are some of the individuals that are spoiling way for many of us. Okay. Some of us are praying to God for 1 or 2 investors, but here someone is spoiling the way for us. Whoever that commits crimes should be ready to do the time. Okay, so Mr. Ambassador Prince, what exactly do you mean by spoiling the way for us? I think if you can maybe clarify on that, then I understand what is you're talking about. But let's go to the next comment. So, Nwa Ogu Selina Chiamaka Amadi. After Chinmark and Oviauza happened on this app, when I hear someone dupe some people on this app, if you're someone I respect and value, once you fall victim of such, I will start seeing you as a stupid person. Well, I feel like this person clearly went to school because she spells stupid as STEWPID person. So first of all, I don't think we should call people names for being victims of a fraudulent scheme because it happens to everybody once in a while. So yeah, that is my opinion on this comment. So like I've earlier said in my initial report, the mom was the former commissioner of housing and urban planning in Imo State, and I feel like a lot is going on with the family because he's currently under custody and the mom is actually being accused of a similar case as well. A lot of you might be asking why we are involving his mom and his sister into this issue right now. Well, the CAC has actually confirmed that his mom and his sister are both in the board of directors in the organization, which confirms that it is in fact a family business. That's the reason why we are involving them. So the case is currently in the court and we're just hoping that maybe the Nigerian court might come through for the people, for the alleged victims, or of course the accused gets released. But we have seen similar cases, like the Diddy case, for instance. Diddy got convicted of only 2 charges, 2 of the lesser charges out of 5 charges. So we can only hope that justice prevails at the end. So we've reached out to their lawyer and he will be providing some documents concerning their own side of the story.